Nicki Minaj's love life has always sparked conversation, and her current partner has left many wondering what's really going on beneath the surface. What many don't realize is that Nicki is living deep inside a pattern with a man who might actually be mirroring the turmoil she once survived. And the deeper you look, the more unsettling the picture becomes. To understand the psychological roots of how Nicki Minaj navigates romantic relationships, we have to start with the emotional blueprint formed during her childhood. She was born in Trinidad, moved to the US as a child, and grew up in Queens, New York. In interviews, she has recalled the emotional trauma she experienced in her formative years, especially at the hands of her father, Robert Minaj. She told Rolling Stone magazine that she would go into her room, kneel at the foot of her bed, and pray that God would make her rich so she could take care of her mother. She added, "Because I always felt like if I took care of my mother wouldn't have to stay with my father, and he was the one at the time that was bringing us pain." Their home was filled with arguing, lots of screaming, holes punched into the walls out of anger. Children who grow up in households with substance-abusing or abusive parents often internalize hypervigilance as a survival strategy. According to the Journal of Family Psychology, early exposure to unpredictable parental behavior can lead to what's called anxious preoccupied attachment in adult relationships. This insecure attachment style is characterized by a strong desire for intimacy and closeness coupled with a fear of abandonment and rejection. Nicki began dating Kenneth Petty. Nicki and Kenneth first crossed paths when they were students at the same high school. They dated briefly at the time, but lost touch over the years before reconnecting in 2018, leading to a whirlwind romance. They got married in 2019 and welcomed a son in 2020. Despite their low-key relationship, Kenneth's legal troubles have made headlines. He is a registered offender and spent several years in jail for attempting a non-consensual act in the first degree against Jennifer Huff, who was 16 at the time. Kenneth was 15 at the time of the crime. And then in 2002, he took a man's life. After accepting a plea deal, his second-degree murder charge was reduced to first-degree manslaughter. He was sentenced to 10 years in prison, but was released in 2013 after serving 7. When her fans began bringing attention to Kenneth's past assault charges, Nicki turned the comments off on her social media account and defended her man by saying, "He was 15, she was 16 in a relationship. But go off, internet. Why all can't run my life? Y'all can't even run your own life. Thank you, boo." She has also romanticized their reunion, expressing gratitude for being with someone who knew her before the fame. On a 2019 episode of her Queen Radio podcast, she said, "When a person is with and that loved them before they had a dime in their pocket, how do you not understand that? How do you not understand happiness versus clout? How dare you talk about lowering standards? I tease the truth. Money cannot buy me happiness and good sex." She love her little jailbird, don't she? Ooh, Kia. He was arrested again in March 2020 because he failed to register as an offender when he moved in with Nicki in California. And then in September 2023, he violated his probation by threatening Cardi B's then-husband. Nicki has also been involved with Kenneth's legal issues. In August 2021. However, Jennifer's lawyer said a lawsuit against Kenneth for battery and assault with new evidence from the original 1994 case is still ongoing. Now, while all this was happening, Nicki, Kenneth, and her ex, Meek Mill, ended up in the same store, and they got into a verbal altercation, which was captured on video. And then the Shade Room posted a meme that mocked Kenneth, and Meek liked the post. Messy, messy, messy. After seeing what she perceived to be a diss, Nicki posted a photo on her Instagram story of Mill with a clown emoji over his face. From there, she hopped on Twitter to write, "You beat your own sister and taped it. Spit on her and taped it. Kicked me in front of your mother and sent her to the hospital. The hell wrong with Meek? He sound crazy as hell." Meek denied the allegations, took shots at Nicki's brother, who got convicted of sexually assaulting a young girl, and tweeted, "For clarification, I don't hit women, and I won't let my interviews be filled with questions about her or any situation to do with her when I come out to do press for my new album." Nicki's allegations mark the second relationship in which she claimed to have experienced physical harm. Her volatile childhood could have imprinted deeply on her psyche, creating a distorted model of love and safety. As for her relationship with Kenneth, psychologists argue that people often attract and remain loyal to disordered partners because they themselves are in denial about their emotional wounds. In the book, Women Who Loved Psychopaths by Sandra Brown, the author explains that early trauma paired with a high tolerance for chaos can mask red flags as passion. The woman might feel chosen or understood by a man society rejects, seeing their relationship as an act of rebellion or redemption. Nicki's public defense of Kenneth supports this. She often frames criticism of him as attacks on their love, turning what could be seen as legitimate concern into an us versus them narrative. This is classic trauma logic of perceiving criticism as rejection and clinging even harder to the very person who represents danger. Nicki's father died in a hit-and-run accident in February 2021. She called it the most devastating loss of her life, writing, "I find myself wanting to call him all the time, more so now that he's gone. May his soul rest in paradise.
He was very loved and will be very missed.
Thankfully, there have been no public reports or allegations of Kenneth putting his hands on Nicki. But absence of violence does not equal emotional safety. Just because someone doesn't hurt you doesn't mean they are healthy for you. Kenneth's past, his legal issues, and the heavy stigma attached to his name have followed their relationship from the beginning, casting a long shadow over Nicki's public image. Consistent therapeutic work is always the answer. While Nicki has publicly acknowledged the importance of mental health, psychologists often note that our choices can reflect the unresolved beliefs we hold beneath the surface. To some observers, her decision to marry Kenneth has sparked concern, not as a definitive measure of her healing, but as a sign that inner wounds may still be influencing her decision to stay with him. Until she confronts what love felt like before she knew what love was supposed to be, she will keep reaching for men who mirror the same emotional confusion she learned to normalize as a child. Because no matter how powerful and successful you become, the heart has a way of returning to the memories of a childhood full of instability and turmoil, allowing them to take center stage, play out in ways beyond our control. And when pain becomes your foundation, a relationship full of peace will always feel undeserved. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more celebrity news and updates. And as always, thanks for watching.